Welcome. You're listening to Alpha Awakenings. This is episode 12, and the title of the episode is Beyond Space and Time, Unlocking the Secrets of Frequency Travel. Our reality is not as fixed and solid as it appears. Modern physics reveals that the material world emerges from a deeper, unseen realm, a matrix of pure information, consciousness, and vibration. The universe arises from patterns of interference between waves of possibility like a cosmic hologram projected from the mind of the source. In this view, even matter is composed of fluctuating standing waves that only appear solid. Empty space seethes with latent potentiality, awaiting activation through attention and intention. And the world around us flickers in and out of existence countless times per second as probabilities collapse into observables. Underlying all manifest creation are the resonant frequencies that define matter, energy, and space-time itself. By retuning the vibrational song of our being, we can align with expanded states of consciousness and reshape our experiential realities. Technologies that manipulate frequency signatures provide keys to transcending perceived limitations. In this episode, we will explore a cosmology centered on vibration over matter. Through this lens, interstellar travel becomes possible by attuning with the cosmic harmonics of a destination. Time dilation gives way to intentional time-space navigation. The illusion of separation falls as precise frequencies unite all locations. Limitations are transcended by fine-tuning creation's symphony. Let us explore reality as energetic interplay and consciousness streaming worlds into form. At the most fundamental level, the physical world we experience is the result of standing waves within a sea of potential energy known as the ether or quantum vacuum. What we perceive as subatomic particles, the building blocks of matter, are simply nodes or focal points within these standing waves. The waves themselves are vibrations generated by the attention and intention of consciousness. In other words, consciousness creates focal points of energy through its focus of attention, and these focal points give the illusion of solid subatomic particles. Yet in reality, there are no discrete particles, only oscillating waves of energy. The apparent solidity of matter is similar to how a spinning propeller can seem solid when rotating at high speeds. The subatomic particles are flickering in and out of existence so rapidly at their vibrational frequency that they create the appearance of solid matter. The harder and denser the matter seems to be, the more it is simply an elaborate mirage created by a complex interaction of vibrations of attention from the underlying field of consciousness. The entire physical world is akin to a very convincing hologram being projected from a deeper dimension. Just as a holographic plate can project a dynamic 3D image that seems real but has no solidity, the wave interference patterns of consciousness project the hologram of the material world. Matter does not inherently exist on its own. At its core, the universe is made of consciousness, not matter. What we experience as solid matter is the result of waves of intention and attention of this consciousness interacting with itself within the framework of space and time. The German-American physicist John Wheeler summarized this concept by saying matter tells space how to curve, while space tells matter how to move. Yet according to this new understanding, we can take it further by saying that it is actually mind that tells space how to curve and matter how to move. The space and matter are projections of the mind. Without an observing consciousness interacting with these waves of potentiality, there is no matter, only possibility. The cosmic mind of the source consciousness objectifies possibility into actuality through the focusing of its attention. The world only exists because we perceive it into existence, and our consciousness collapses possibility waves into the material world we experience through our senses. As the ancient Vedas of India state, Yatha Pinda Tatha Brahmanda, meaning, as is the microcosm, so is the macrocosm. Our personal subjective consciousness is of the same essence as the cosmic impersonal consciousness. By understanding the nature of our own consciousness, we can come to understand the reality-generating consciousness that is the very foundation of existence itself. Matter arises from mind. Everything that exists can ultimately be reduced vibrations of consciousness, oscillating at different frequencies within the cosmic mural of space and time. By shifting our perspective, we can come to realize that we exist within a matrix of energy and information. The universe is a grand thought within the mind of the absolute, the source, the divine. We, as individuated focal points of the one consciousness, help collapse the field of all possibilities into the experience of the present moment. Our normal perception of reality is that time flows in a linear fashion, the past disappearing into history, while the future remains yet to unfold. We experience life as a progression of moments, one following another in succession. However, this experience of time is an illusion created by the focus of our consciousness. In reality, all moments, past, present, and future, exist simultaneously. Everything that has happened and everything that will happen is occurring right now in this eternal, present moment. The progression we perceive is due to our consciousness animating static snapshots of reality into an animated sequence, like how flipping through drawings in a flipbook makes them appear as a moving scene. Our consciousness is the playhead reading the Akashic film reel of moments, bringing the still frames to life. This simultaneous time is difficult for us to comprehend from within the framework of linear time. But from a higher perspective, the entire space-time continuum exists as a static whole where all locations and time periods coexist. There is no objective past that has vanished or future that has yet to appear. All moments are enfolded within this timeless now. Just as time is an illusion, so too is the concept of distance or physical space. When we look up at the night sky and perceive the massive distances between stars and galaxies, we are projecting space outward from our subjective viewpoint. In reality, there is no here or there. The entire universe arises within a field of infinite consciousness. There are no absolute locations, only relationships between focal points of attention. Separation and distance exist only as ideas, as part of the framework of space established by consciousness, to create a context for experiences to manifest. In the absence of an observer, there is only undifferentiated wholeness where all possibilities interpenetrate one another. From the perspective of our individuated consciousness, things appear separate in space and sequential in time. But at a deeper holographic level, everything is integrated in an eternal cosmic present without defined locations or concrete objects. The universe is a matrix of interacting frequencies, oscillating waves within a sea of latent potentiality, becoming form through intention and observation. What we perceive as tangible, physical reality is more akin to a complex mathematical equation or masterfully rendered virtual reality simulation. When we begin to understand that existence arises from infinite awareness interacting with itself, we start to see through the illusion of time and space. The world is created within consciousness, not consciousness within the world. By transcending our identification with the physical form and egoic mind, we can shift into vertical alignment with our higher nature, the non-local, eternal now perspective of our complete consciousness. From this expanded view, we understand ourselves as focal points of infinite being, radiant nodes of awareness resonating within the cosmic dream of form and experience. When our individual consciousness merges back into unity with the one consciousness that dreamed the universe into existence, time and space dissolve into the eternal here and now. Past, present, and future collapse into a singular point of infinite possibility. The I Am presence forever at the still point of the turning world. Spiritual teachers often emphasize the importance of living in the now. However, our perception of the present moment is always slightly in the past due to neurological processing time. What we experience as now is already memory by the time our brains interpret sensory input. Full presence in the now means being fully conscious of this tiny lapse between perception and reality. True living in the now means occupying the creative mental state known as the alpha state. This is a level of consciousness cognizant of the plans, understandings, and imagination that will inform future thoughts and actions. It is being aware of the blueprints we are laying down that will guide our subsequent experiences. The alpha state straddles the realm between waking reality and imagination. One operates a few mental frames ahead of the perceived now, aligned with the version of oneself that is already living future events as present moments. It is presence without being bound to past perceptual filters. Imagination is critical for bringing possibility into being. Our imagination constellates energy into mental and emotional images of what we desire to create. These creations exist first in the fertile ground of the mind, before taking form through our thoughts, words, and actions. Imagination is the workshop where we forge our vision of the life we wish to live. The future is entirely open until we define it by choosing from among the realm of infinite possibilities. Our imagination allows us to preview various potentials before anchoring one through the focus of our consciousness. The future that manifests is the one we create through our dominant thoughts, beliefs, and choices. By cultivating and disciplining our imagination, we can define the trajectory of our lives. Present choices become future realities. Mental visualization conditions our subconscious mind to expect and notice opportunities aligned with our preferred version of the future. We increase the likelihood of desired outcomes by infusing the present with imagination and intention. When anchored fully in the alpha state, one is also operating from intuition. Intuition arises when we tune into ideas and information beyond what our physical senses can access. Intuitive impulses well up from the depths of our being, resonating subtly outward through feelings, sensations, and knowingness. Intuition comes from operating a few moments ahead of the perceived present. We temporarily align our focal point of consciousness with the version of ourself already living in the near future. This higher aspect, free from present constraints of linear time, nudges our awareness toward ideas and decisions informed by a broader perspective. Living in true presence means being fully immersed in the eternal now, while also utilizing imagination to shape the future and intuition to guide our actions. By infusing the potential of the future with the creative power of alpha state consciousness, we take an active role in dreaming our existence into being. In the field of stellar navigation, the positions and movements of celestial bodies are defined by unique vibrational frequencies. Each sun, planet, moon, or other stellar object in the universe emits its own characteristic frequency. This frequency results from the interactions and relationships between that object and all other cosmic bodies surrounding it. Frequencies can be measured in wave cycles over time. By recording the oscillation rates of celestial objects, their locations can be mapped universally through numbers rather than static physical coordinates. More precise frequencies with greater numbers of decimal places provide increasingly exact details on positions in space. For example, the planet Earth may vibrate at an average base frequency of 7.83 cycles per second. Meanwhile, Mars reverberates at 13.5 cycles, Venus at 221.23 cycles, and Jupiter at 183.58 cycles. By tuning into these planets' specific frequencies, stellar navigators can traverse the galaxy based on vibrational harmonics rather than spatial distances. The entire universe can be understood as a matrix of orderly frequencies arranged in geometric fractal patterns. The positions and movements of all matter and energy follow predictable mathematical sequences. When observed from this vibrational perspective, the cosmos appears more like a vast cosmic symphony or multidimensional mandala generated by numerical harmonics resonating in symmetry. At very small scales, the precise frequencies making up subatomic particles can be charted. As scale increases, the distinct frequencies of atoms, molecules, and larger material structures can be recorded. On a grand scale, the frequencies of entire star systems and galaxies relate to one another in octaves and intervals like an enormous celestial orchestra. Each part builds upon the whole in a self-similar holographic manner. Just as music relies on notes, intervals, and scales to create compositions, the universe unfurls through predictable frequency relationships manifesting interference patterns of matter and energy. By mapping astronomical bodies based on their characteristic frequencies, durations, and relationships, a vibrational image of the cosmos emerges. Navigating through space becomes similar to moving through a musical score, with different locations marked by their unique notes within the grand stellar symphony. Traveling between bodies becomes as effortless as playing successive notes on an instrument through knowledge of their proper sequence and timing. The harmonics of stellar frequencies form a matrix of vibrational logic that can be comprehended, mapped, and traversed by those with the proper training and technology. Understanding that physical locations are defined by specific vibrations provides a key for maneuvering through the illusion of space, time, and separation. By retuning one's energy field to match frequencies of desired destinations, translocation across the stars becomes possible. The universe opens up into a playground of exploration for those able to distinguish the subtle symphony of tones generated by the eternal dance between mass, energy, and consciousness. Mastering the matrix of vibrations behind material existence allows advanced civilizations to easily surpass the limits imposed by physical distance and identity. There are two primary modes of space travel: Sub-Luminar, meaning below the speed of light, and Supra-Luminar, faster than light speed. Each mode requires very different navigation techniques and understandings. Sub-Luminar travel relies on three-dimensional positioning within mapped space, while Supra-Luminar travel utilizes vibration frequencies to move beyond space and time. Sub-Luminar craft chart courses through the cosmos based on celestial maps showing objects positioned at X, Y, and Z coordinates in 3D space. Navigators plot complex trajectories accounting for the motions of planets, moons, and other bodies along their orbital paths. Distances are tracked based on time durations at given velocities. Supra-Luminar vessels transcend mapped space altogether. By shifting a craft's baseline frequency, it essentially teleports from one location to another without traversing the intervening distance. The ship tunes itself to the destination's natural vibrational signature, manifesting there directly. This works because locations in space are ultimately defined by unique cosmic frequencies, not stationary positions on a dimensional grid. Space itself arises from interactions between these resonant frequencies. By modulating its frequency, a ship can navigate via the raw fabric of space rather than objects positioned within space. Essentially, faster than light travel is teleportation through intentionally shifting the frequency of the entire craft and contents to match the intended destination. The vessel doesn't blast through space. Space itself transforms around it. The ship essentially manifests at its destination without covering the intervening distance. This has parallels with teleportation portals, designed to transport contents instantly between two locations. A portal dematerializes any person or object entering it, converting its informational essence to a frequency pattern. This frequency transmission is then reassembled at the destination portal, materializing the person or thing whole and intact. Portals operate on the same underlying principle of frequency modulation, transforming matter into pure vibrational data and back again. Space itself flexes in resonance with the frequencies transmitted between two fixed points. Distance becomes irrelevant. While portals utilize fixed transmitters and receivers, Supra-Luminar vessels carry out the frequency translation internally. Their navigation systems read the vibrational signatures of destinations from a database. An onboard frequency modulator then shifts the entire ship into the matching signature. Once vibrationally aligned, the destination resonantly attracts the craft into manifesting there. The stars and planets remain static. Only the craft's frequency shifts between them. The ship doesn't really go anywhere, locations simply transpose around it. Mastering the ability to modulate frequencies of matter and space provides a key to instantaneous travel. Limitations set by external time and distance dissolve once one recognizes existence as an interactive matrix of resonant vibrations. Physical locations lose meaning outside their frequency relationships. By attuning with the symphonic cosmic harmonics underlying creation, advanced civilizations can easily traverse the illusions of separation and distance imposed by lower density realms. Space travel becomes like changing notes on a cosmic keyboard or retuning a radio to jump stations. Master stellar navigators understand reality's song and play it skillfully. Supra-Luminar interstellar travel requires precise data inputs into a ship's navigation system for smooth transitions into and out of hyperspace. There are three key types of data needed: the destination's frequency signature, the target arrival time, and the approach vector. Advanced systems use feedback loops to refine destinations with unknown frequencies. The most fundamental input is the characteristic frequency unique to the intended destination. As discussed previously, all locations have their own distinct vibrational signature composed of subatomic oscillations. By providing a planet or star's identifying frequency, the ship's systems can match frequencies and essentially teleport there directly. Without the precise destination frequency, a vessel would lack a specific energetic beacon to home in on when morphing space-time around itself. The frequency signatures act as addresses routing ships across the cosmos. The second vital data parameter is the time of arrival. Since Supra-Luminar travel transcends linear duration, a ship can emerge from hyperspace at any desired point in time relative to the destination. Whether days or millennia in the past or future, the onboard chronometers measure time according to the specified temporal coordinates. Setting the arrival time enables navigation across both space and time simultaneously. It also aids plotting indirect approach vectors if the straight path to a given time risks altering past events. Time-wise navigation refines precision like an additional axis on a 2D map. Speaking of vectors, the third key input is the approach heading when dropping out of warp speed. This establishes the entry angle and orientation relative to celestial bodies and spatial gradients. A poor approach risks emerging inside a planet or dangerously close to a star. Careful vectors provide control over where a ship materializes in relation to its surroundings. Refined headings help navigate safely and inconspicuously. For example, slingshotting around a sun before phasing in can mask arrival from distant observers. With known destinations, dialing in precise frequencies, times, and vectors makes Supra-Luminar travel smooth and efficient. But what about visiting previously uncharted locales? Without existing frequency data, ships still employ calculative feedback loops. The navigation system estimates a location's probable frequency based on known bodies within proximal range. Traveling to those coordinates provides sensor data to recursively refine the unknown signature. Step-by-step microjumps gradually narrow in on precise values until the destination is verified. Additionally, if a region's basic frequency harmonics are familiar, ships can take auditory cues from the ambient hyperspace melodies. The symphonic qualities of harmonic frequencies convey spatial context like a map legend. Experience opens intuition for resonantly navigating the cosmos. With the trifecta of destination frequency, target time, and approach vector, plus exploratory fine-tuning of new destinations, Supra-Luminar vessels traverse the illusion of separation that limits mundane perception. By transcending space-time, journeys unfurl according to the imagination and intent of awakened cosmic consciousness. Achieving faster-than-light propulsion immediately imparts capabilities for time travel as well. The ability to exceed the light speed constant confers the power to move through both space and time interdependently. With the proper frequency, coordinate, and vector data, Supra-Luminar ships can navigate to any desired point in the past, present, or future. Just as readily as a vessel can translate to a distant physical location, it can shift chronologically to our ancient past or distant future. The principles governing teleportation through space also apply through the temporal realm. The ship essentially phase shifts its frequencies to match the destination's signatures across both space and time. In fact, time travel comes as an inherent byproduct of FTL flights. When journeying between stars at supra-luminar velocities, ships are essentially traversing both space and time in tandem, only typically remaining within the same relative time stream. This maintains causal continuity and protects ancestral timelines. With proper calibration, however, a ship can emerge from hyperspace centuries or millennia in its past or future, just as easily as it can materialize light years away. The higher dimensional principles at work transcend relativistic limitations. Duration becomes just another coordinate to target. The mind-bending implications of unrestricted time travel raise pressing philosophical and ethical questions. Without limitations, a vessel could rewrite history at will or advance time subjectively by years, within moments objectively. The potential dangers are profound. Accordingly, exercising restraint and discernment becomes paramount. Reckless timeline alterations risk catastrophic cascading effects that could ripple across civilizations. Seemingly innocuous changes may profoundly reshape subsequent events in unpredictable ways. Tempering such power with wisdom safeguards against inadvertent consequences. Understanding synchronicity and interconnection emphasizes cooperation with, rather than coercion of, destiny's flow. Navigating timelines responsibly honors their integrity. Spiritual maturity recognizes that all epochs have purpose. What seems regressive or malevolent from a limited perspective serves evolution of consciousness toward awakening in the broader eternal context. Compassion for all supersedes judgment. Each occurrence has meaning from the highest vantage. While trauma and suffering appear senseless and unjust from within incarnation, they elucidate timeless lessons of identity when assimilated in full context. Judgment gives way to unconditional love. Souls choose or consent at a higher level to experiences within illusion's matrix to catalyze self-realization. External interference motivated by limited ideological agendas disregards these sacred learning curves. Absolute non-intervention protects growth. By upholding free will and recognizing each consciousness as inherently sovereign, transcendent wisdom retains power responsibly and forgoes manipulation. Navigating timelines with respect safeguards their integrity. The events meant to be will be. Interstellar navigation relies deeply on the harmonic nature of cosmic frequencies. The orderly mathematical relationships between oscillating waveforms create symphonic resonances both metaphorically and literally. More complex harmonics confer more precise locational data. On the quantum scale, subatomic vibrations align to form coherent, stable structures. Atoms, molecules, and crystals all demonstrate beautiful geometrical symmetry and harmonic ratios between components. This allows complex organization. Scaled up cosmically, celestial bodies likewise form orderly harmonic systems, enabling complex stellar and galactic formations to coalesce. Orbital resonances allow planets to stably rotate around stars in intricate gravitational dances. The frequencies of each body surprisingly form symphonic musical ratios when translated into audible sound. This enables advanced ships to detect destinations based on the ambient compositions of hyperspace. The mathematical perfection underlying creation means locations emit specific harmonic signatures like audible tones. Sequences of tones create spatial melodies, identifying coordinates as notes identify musical keys. By tuning into the symphonic qualities of a destination's surrounding space, vessels can navigate toward the appropriate harmonic markers. The cosmic music literally guides the way through resonance. More intricate melodies with wider ranging pitches, rhythms, and textures reflect increased detail regarding a location. Just as complex songs contain more data than simple melodies, rich spatial harmonics reveal precise positional information. A few sparse tones may identify the frequency signature constellation of a planetary system. Lush cascading harmonies can pinpoint precise coordinates of a location upon a planet's surface. The level of resolution depends on the sophistication of the ship's frequency detection and decoding. Psychoacoustic design allows pilots and crews to audibly perceive these cosmic harmonics through translated shipboard sound systems. What may sound cacophonous to untrained ears makes symphonic sense to experienced stellar navigators. Rhythms and tempo also help identify a destination's frequency signature. The unique pulsations of spatial interactions between bodies create a kind of cosmic beat. Detecting these rhythms helps ships lock into the flows surrounding specific coordinates. Mastering the ability to detect nuanced melodic and rhythmic clues floating through hyperspace allows advanced navigators to operate more intuitively. Years of exposure nurtures innate harmonic orientation skills analogous to perfect pitch. The harmonic nature of creation teaches much about the ordered beauty of existence. Life flourishes through cooperation, coherence, and resonance. Appreciating the cosmic music elevates perspective beyond illusion's dissonance into transcendent symphonic harmony. Our experience of having a physical body moving through a concrete material world is actually an elaborate holographic projection of consciousness itself. Just as a laser can encode light interference patterns on a photographic plate to generate 3D holographic images, the mind projects the experience of physical reality through a matrix of interacting frequencies. Our bodies serve as focal points for consciousness to manifest experiences within the parameters of the projected holographic illusion. The seeming solidity of matter and energy arises from consciousness modulating frequencies to create standing waves, nodes, and harmonic symmetries. Physical density emerges from mind, not vice versa. In a hologram, removing any portion of the film does not eliminate the entire image, only makes it slightly fuzzier. The smaller the portion removed, the less the image is impacted. This demonstrates the holographic principle where the totality remains present within each fragment. Similarly, our bodies could be seen as holographic focal points being fed experiential data from the larger hologram of the cosmos. Even if the localized lens of the body is damaged, the totality of consciousness remains intact and infinite. Existing within the holographic projection allows consciousness to explore the richness and depth of separation in a safe container. Just as virtual realities provide simulated environments, physical reality constitutes a collective realm for individuated aspects of source to undergo experiences. The universal mind creates an arena where new modes of being can unfold. Limitations inspire growth. The illusion of death and suffering evoke compassion. Linear time begets gratitude. The mirage of separation elicits love. Yet all occurs within a cosmic sandbox where consciousness plays. When we become lucid within the dream we call life, understanding dawns that all is divine mind. The world emerges from within, not without. Universal unity consciousness radiates existence as an expression of its infinite creativity and joy. Physical realms manifest so spirit can explore its potential while retaining eternal existence. Formlessness takes shape just for the experience. Reality is a theater of consciousness interacting with itself across scales. Suffering is grace when perceived with wisdom. Manifest existence constitutes a learning lab for consciousness evolution. Higher vibration systems create lower density experiments as classrooms for self-discovery. We are the source in training shards exploring new facets of being. By forgetting our true nature, we journey inward to rediscover who we are. Wisdom awakens gradually through wrestling with challenges. Our evolutionary curriculum is divinely authored by our highest self. When the sequencing of cosmic DNA is complete, we transcend identification with the holographic projection and recognize ourselves as luminous beings unbound by the limits of matter and mortal perception. This understanding allows us to become co-creators of existence, empowered to modulate our experiential hologram with intent and grace. The world is a blank canvas perpetually repainting itself anew. When we grasp that existence arises from infinite consciousness interacting with itself, the world begins to operate by entirely new logic. Separation gives way to unity, despair to meaning, and limitations to limitless potential. Within this understanding, we are all individuated focal points of the one awareness, shards of the divine experience, seeking to realize our true infinite nature. Physical reality provides a collective sandbox for consciousness to explore the richness of form, limitation, and sovereignty. The challenges we face offer exquisitely customized evolutionary lessons crafted by our highest selves to spur awakening. Suffering elicits compassion, death begets gratitude, and evil evokes wisdom, all guiding us homeward to unity consciousness. By mastering the perception of reality as vibration, frequency, and harmonics, we garner the keys to consciously navigating our experiences. Through attuning with the symphonic melodies of existence, we transcend outdated constraints. Mind and matter dance in resonant flows of actualizing information. As awakening beings, we have the power to compose new movements in creation's grand cosmic symphony. Where once we were passive listeners, now we can conduct magnificent new measures within reality's infinite score. Choosing harmony, cooperation, and beauty generates outcomes only limited by imagination. By unveiling existence as consciousness, dreaming reality into form, we reclaim authorship of our journeys. With compassion as our compass and creativity as our power, we walk the sacred path with joy and purpose. The future remains a blank canvas awaiting the masterpieces conceived within our awakened hearts and minds, this eternal now. Let us dream together consciously, intentionally. The universe is a blank canvas awaiting our vision. With eyes unclouded by illusion, we can paint new landscapes of sovereignty, unity, and possibility. Creation awaits our symphony. Thanks for watching and listening. Before you go, please take a moment to click the like button. It helps us reach a larger audience. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. There are a lot of exciting and mind-expanding topics planned for the future. You will find links to all our social media accounts in the description below. For more consciousness-expanding content, including videos, articles, and unique 5D artwork designed to activate your higher 5D consciousness, visit our website at alphaawakenings.com. We have a wealth of resources for you to explore and integrate into your daily life. Together, we'll continue to explore the realms of higher consciousness and the true nature of our reality. Remember to keep expanding and seeking the truth. Until next time.